All right. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, we're live. I never can tell when we're actually live versus when it actually starts putting it out to people. So I apologize if you were just seeing me sit there for 50 seconds trying to figure out my life. But I hope you all are doing well. Today we have 30 items, 30 pairs of shoes to ship out. I'm going to do my best to show you as many pairs as I can. Some of the stuff is like it's not going to be relative to what you were here for, which is thrifted goods mainly. So I'm going to do my best to show you the stuff that sold that was thrifted items that I then got. There's some retail stuff, and then there's some other stuff that I got. But primarily, most of the stuff in the beginning of this stream will be all thrifted items and stuff that I thrifted and sold. So we're going to start out with Depop. Depop, we sold 4 items. Actually, we just sold another one. So technically we sold 5 items on Depop. So I'm going to actually need to find that 5th item. But hopefully y'all are doing well. The first one that we are going to start off with is actually a bundle. So it is a bundle of, where did the tape go? The tape's all the way over here. The bundle of 2 pairs of Rothy's. So ideally, it's not the greatest of sales. Basically, it's 2 of my longest Rothy's pairs that I have, and they're the same size. So somebody purchased them in a bundle. I'm happy to get rid of them. They're some of my oldest listings, and they are not models that I would pick up again. So let's see if I can find them. I created a pile, and then I got rid of my pile by accident. Here there. So it's a pair of the Rothy's slip-on sneakers and then a pair of the Rothy's Chelsea boots. Again, like I said, neither of these I will be picking up again. I swear. Sorry, I've been getting spam calls all day long. All right. So we're going to put these 2 in the same box together because they will fit, which is great. But they're going to go in just like this together in one box. I think the bundle sold for, it says $53.36 was my payout. So let's see what my receipt is. My receipt was $58.65. So after about $5.29 of fees, $53.36, it's fine. I'm into it for like $14. So for both of them. So not mad about that, but we'll get these shipped out. Purple Pig, good morning. I had a return request for a pair of shoes. They're claiming that the shoes are different sizes. They were when I sent them. They were different sizes when you sent them, or they were not different sizes when you sent them? Because that's interesting. If they weren't different sizes and then they're claiming they're different sizes, did they have 2 size? Like, did they both have a size chart on the shoe? Because that would be interesting. Because you could technically claim that they were fraudulently returned if that was the case. Good morning, everybody. All right, so next pair is a pair of Hokas. We actually have 2 Hokas back to back. But we'll start with this one first. This is a pair of, we're not the same size. Oh, no, that's not good. All right, so we will see. I would just say, like, if you sent them and they were both the same size, and then they return saying that they weren't the same size, then you could potentially claim it. But if you listed them as 2 different sizes and then they saying that it's 2 different sizes, then technically they're right. But I think what you're getting at is that you sent them as 1 size and they're saying they're not. I am sorry about that. All right, these are a pair of the Clifton 8s. They're now in the Clifton 10s, I believe. So this is technically 2 models behind. But I listed these on Tuesday, and they sold yesterday for $40 plus shipping. I took a big offer on them. I listed them at $59. But on Depop, I'm basically paying no fees. So I'm basically just getting all cash, which is about the same that I would get if I sold it on eBay. So a little bit quicker. Buyer said that they would pay immediately, which is rare on Depop. So I was excited about the idea of that selling quickly. So that's out the door as well. All right, next pair is actually another pair of Hokas. These are definitely a nicer pair. These are the Hoka Bondi 8s. They are the triple black colorway. These sell really well for me, especially in men's, which these sold in men's. These sold for $60 plus shipping on Depop. So I'm going to put this in a box just because it sold for a little bit more than usual for those. So I'll put this one in one of the free Ground Advantage boxes. So we'll go ahead and just put this label on since we know this is going there. And then I'll grab some of the packing paper. Perfect. Great. All right. So that one's done. So that sold for $60 plus shipping. Yesterday we did $1,800 in sales. So I had a really, really good day in sales yesterday. So happy to get this stuff going. All right, next pair. This sold this morning. I thought that these were really cool. However, these sat for forever. It was $26.60. So like I said, I keep saying it whenever I do shipping lives. We're on 78, almost 7,900. So this has been listed almost 5,000 pairs ago, which means that this was not as good of an item as I thought, which is okay. But they still sold. They sold for $39 plus shipping on Depop. And I think I'm into them for like $10. Like I said, it's an older pair, so my buy cost was a lot lower, which is great for me now that they sold, but it would not be one that I would pick up again. I asked for photos on both of the size shoes showing the size. Then on Facebook Marketplace Poshmark group, I seen where people are using AI to create what image they want. Yep. So it was a Poshmark return. Was it a Poshmark return or an eBay return? Because an eBay return, you can fight that. Poshmark return, I don't know if you're going to be able to fight that. That is what we call buyer's remorse. That they don't know it, because they don't like it and there's nothing wrong with the item, then they fake the sizes, which is really sad. And I'm sorry about that. That is dumb. All right. Nike Air Maxes shipped out. Those are a little bit more solid too. Those are not like they're more hard is not the right word, but they're more struggle. Yeah, eBay return. Well, you can fight that then, for sure. You're just gonna have to accept the return, and then you can fight it once you get the return back. All right, so these just sold, so I have to find them. I do apologize. Like they literally sold right before I started. 7766. So I'm gonna have to go over here because they're a recent listing, which is fine. But I grabbed them. See, that's why it's really helpful to have organized inventory, because it takes 3 seconds to get them. All right, these are a pair of New Balance 1080 14s, I believe. Yeah, these are in like really good condition, like super nice. These sold for $50 plus shipping on Depop. Again, like I said, I listed these actually at $69, and then I took a $50 offer on them purely because of the whole less fees on Depop, and she said she was going to buy them instantly. So happy to take that. We'll put this in a bag, and then we will move on. I am a little worried. I'm running out of these Ground Advantage envelopes, and they're awesome, but I don't know if I stocked up enough, or if I'm going to have to go after this stream call and get some more, because they are great, and I think I ran out, so that's not good. But that is the last Depop sale. So those 5 are Depop today. I had no Mercari. I haven't had a Mercari sale in like 5 days. I don't think I've had a Mercari sale since. Okay, everybody needs to relax and stop contacting me while I'm on live. I think I have a Mercari sale this month. Oh, look, Felix is on YouTube today. Did you start with number 1 for your label? What's the lowest number you have currently? I did. So I started at number 1. I think the lowest number we've got is it's over here. I have one. It's funny. I have one that's number 3. So it's 3 and then 22 are my 2 lowest ones. So truthfully, what I think I need to do is at some point, I don't want to do it, but what I need to do is I probably need to go back and retake photos of those because they should sell. They should sell quicker. Use Poshmark online ordering for the USPS. I forgot you can do that now. I will do that instead because that's a lot easier than calling. I came across a pair of all-over cable sneakers last week. Are these fake to your knowledge? Not that I'm aware of. They're really nice sneakers. I actually found a pair last week too. Some of my favorite shoes. They're really well made, really quality shoes. So congratulations on finding them. That's awesome. But yeah, I don't know that they're faked. You would be able to tell. Oliver Cable is really well made, so it's going to be heavier. Each shoe is going to be heavy. So if they're really light and you could squeeze them like really good, I doubt that they're real. But like I said, I haven't seen any fake ones. I mean, I look at shoes all the time. So be that as it may. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Carolyn. We just shipped out Depop, so you guys missed it. There wasn't anything crazy, but next we are going to do Poshmark. I think is up what's next. All right, first pair is also I upgraded today. I'm using my iPad. It's a little bit easier for me to see instead of using my phone. All right. The first pair is a pair of Diodoras. I thought that these were going to be really good. They matched like the style that was doing really well at the time. I got these in the summer. Retro running was like really big, and these did not hit like I thought they would, which is fine. But they sold today. Yeah, they sold like 2 hours ago for $35 on Poshmark. So my payout was $28. So I think I made like $14 on those, which is okay. It's not like that is what my minimum is. So like if I'm going to like sit and hold stuff and like it's going to need to make me $14, $15, and those did. So that's okay. Not a sale that I'm not a brand that I am like in love with. Theodora, some of the stuff is really good on it, but some of the stuff is like that where it takes forever. All right, next pair is a pair of Nike Vapor Maxes. We actually cleaned these on live, and I told you that I wasn't going to clean the bottom of them, so I was going to take an offer. Basically, there's some dirt and stuff that I can't get out. I made sure the buyer was aware of that. They said it was fine. They'll work on it. Great with me. They sold for $44 plus shipping on Poshmark. Do you have YouTube videos on how to spot fakes on certain brands? No, I don't have a full YouTube video. I probably should make that. But I've made like little videos and stuff, like reels and stuff like that, of how to spot fake Jordans. Done that twice, and then I did a pair of Nikes as well. So there are reels that I've done that are out there. But I might do that as a YouTube video. That could be an interesting video to do. All right, so these sold for $44 on Poshmark, and I get $35.20. So that is not bad. I think I made like $20 on those, which is fine. Like I said, they were dirty. I thought I was going to be able to clean them. I didn't. Wasn't able to. Next pair is a brand that I told everybody not to pick up. The only reason why I picked them up is because they're borderline brand new. These are Hey Dudes. I paid probably like $14 for them. They sold 4 on offer, I believe, for $35. So the good thing about this is I listed these. I think I'm going to try and use a padded flat rate for these. Or not padded, just the padding shipping envelope. It's not flat rate. Sorry. The best part about these is I listed them like this week, and they sold already. Padded's not going to work. They don't fit. But they sold this week, and then I made like $14 in profit. But I knew that I wasn't going to make a lot of money on them. It was just a quick seller, like list them low, let them sell quickly. So if I can find Hey Dudes that are new like that and list them a little bit lower than I normally would, I'll do that. But it's not going to be something that I'm going to pay up for them, if that makes sense. But I think I'm making like $14 in profit on them, which is fine. Not bad. The minimum I want to make, like I've said, but for speed, I'll take it. Not mad about it at all. I hear a bear coming. All right, next pair. There is a bear. Hi, bear. Are you sad that you can't come over here? My dog is. Hi, bear. Come here. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Look, you're going to have lots of friends. Dolly, come here. Come here. You're going to have lots of friends. Lift up. Oh, gosh. Come here. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. Come here. Hi, you want to play? We can't play right now. Yeah, hi. You want to say hi to everybody? Oh, look, you can see you on your video. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. Say hi. I'm Nala. Say hi. I'm Nala. Say hi. I'm Nala, everybody. Hi. Okay, go that way. Go, girl. There's your fun video thing. Definitely do the fakes video. Even if you compile reels you've already released plus new info, we look forward to shoes boost knowledge. Might as well get monetized for info. I'm trying. Nobody watched my video yesterday. I'm trying to post reels, but nobody saw it, I guess. Next pair is, we talked about this yesterday. Somebody asked, I don't remember who, but somebody asked if I pick up sorry, I do stop talking while I'm doing the thing because I know it's loud. Somebody asked yesterday if I pick up Peloton cycling shoes, and I said that it was 1 for 1. So every time I sell one, I pick one up. I sold one yesterday because I guess we talked about it, but I sold these for $49 plus shipping. So I make $39.20. And I think I make like $24 on those, which is awesome. So that is ideal. But now I will go pick up another pair. Peace, subscribe. Good morning. Yeah, the Aussie butt wiggles are the best. They are the best. Family has Aussie Merle, Brown, and Minnie. Yeah, she is a blue Merle. And she's a little goober. But we love her. She likes to be in everybody's business all the time. She is the ultimate, like, Velcro dog. She just will be around you all the time. All right. So that is now shipped out. Hello. Hi. I'm trying to work. And you're being distracting. All of my friends on live are wanting to learn from me, and you're distracting me. I know. Go inside. Go inside. Go, go, go. All right, next pair is a pair of Asics GT 2000s. These are the 13 model. So this is one of the newer models. I don't know if they're on the 13 or 14. These sold pretty quickly. This was 7735. So these were listed about a week or two ago, which is great with me. They sold for $44. So I make 35.20 off of that, making like $21 in profit. Not bad. What do you set the nifty shipping weight to for boots? What size box for boots? Yeah, so it's 5 pounds, unless they weigh more than 5 pounds. And then I set my boot dimensions to what my box is that I use, which is the 1612 by 6 box. I will say, the only thing I don't like is that with these bags is they're so big that I have to tape every single one of them. So it's not ideal, but I do know that they get to the buyer safe, which is fine. But I am running through a lot of tape right now. Are your shoes thrifted or do you wholesale? I wish I could get wholesale shoes. Maybe in the future, but no, everything's thrifted for the most part. Like I said, there's some retail stuff that I get. It's very rare, but there are some retail stuff that I get. But everything so far has all been thrifted items that I have picked up from the thrift. All right, next pair is a pair of New Balance 515s. This lady on Facebook or not Facebook, on Poshmark had a conniption because they said men's 7 on them, and I converted them to a women's 8.5, which is what they are. And she had a conniption, and she got Poshmark support involved, and she was like, he's selling fake shoes, whatever. I should have canceled the sale on her right there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to send them to her. She's fine with it, but I am a little bit worried that these are going to come back. I'm not able to connect Depop to Nifty. How do you connect them? There's a connection site on Nifty. Also, Shannon, if you have any questions about Nifty, I'm happy to answer them. But Nifty also has a support section. So you can just hit the support section and they'll send you an email of like how you can, like, basically they'll walk you through the steps and stuff like that. But in the connections section, you have to manually put your account information in. All right. That is done. Next one is a pair that I think are going to, yeah, these next two are going to have to go in a box. I missed one somewhere. I missed one. All right. We're going to have to send a label to myself, which is fine. I deleted a label by accident. All right. So the next one is a pair of Addy Zero electric cleats. I think these are technically football cleats. I think you could use them for baseball as well. I'm not really sure. I just listed them as cleats. They had the tags. So these sold for $50 plus shipping, which is fine. It's not the greatest thing in the world. Like, it's not the greatest sale in the world for new tag stuff, but I'm making like $20 on them. So not the worst, but these are definitely going to go in a box because they are new. I have a pair of unbranded men's loafers. Can I list them on Poshmark or Mercari? Do you think I'll get flagged? Unbranded is interesting. Where did you get them? And I don't think you're going to get flagged. I just don't know if they're going to sell. That's just me being very truthful. I don't know if they're going to sell. All right. So these are at the door. Yeah, I'm not so sure if they're just unbranded loafers. I mean, I don't see a problem with you listing them, as long as you don't list them as like a brand that they're not. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to sell. That's just me being completely honest. Most of the time stuff sells because it's a brand, there's a reason for it, and it's good quality. So, all right, next pair is a pair of On Clouds. These are also going to get a box just because, like we talked about before, On Clouds I put in boxes just because of it. Had more issues with people receiving them in shoe or in the bags, which no other brand has an issue with. I don't know. People who buy On Clouds, I guess, are a little bit more specific, which is fine. But these sold for $50, so I'm making $40 in profit. Or not in profit, $40 after fees. And then I think I make $25 to $26 after everything. All right, that is done. We got 2 more on Poshmark, and then I think we have 12 on eBay, and then we are done. So that is encouraging because shipping like these take a while, especially when you're doing it on live. But I love big days like this, but sometimes it is a big long haul of actually doing the shipment. All right, next pair up. As soon as I make this box. I will say, with some of these Ground Advantage boxes, you got to make sure that the tape sticks, because sometimes it doesn't. Next pair of shoes up is a very clean pair of LeBrons. These are really nice. These are a larger size as well, I believe. I think they are delete that. They are an 11. So I say they're large. They just look larger than the shoes that I previously shipped, I guess. But these sold for $45. I make, what do I make after that? $38, $36, I think, after fees. So yeah, good sale. Poshmark seemed to be yesterday until this next sale. Poshmark seemed to be a lot of lower dollar stuff, which is fine. So it makes money. Your box is 1412 by 8, or no, these boxes are 14.7 by 5. These are the shoe boxes. The big boxes that I use for like the boots and stuff, that's here. Those are 1612 by 6 boxes. All right, these LeBrons are packed up and ready to go. Last pair is another pair of retail arbitrage, so I won't even really talk about it. It's just a pair of golf shoes that I got retail for a while ago, and they sold for, I think they were like $80. So good sale on that. But like I said, I take advantage of retail sales and stuff like that when they happen. It's not very often. Like, I mean, you've seen Wayne and other people post about it. Brad had his major retail stuff happen earlier this year. So it's not often, but we take it. Yeah, but these sold for $80. So I'm making $64 after fees on that, which is great. But that is the end of Poshmark. So Poshmark is now done. Now we got to go to eBay, which is great. Glad to have as many sales as I did today. Very grateful for that. Just feels like a lot. All right. So this one is now printing, and then we will move on to eBay. So eBay, we have 2 bundle orders, which is great. So that's going to make easy shipping. So technically the 12 goes down to, what's that, 8 shipments? Something like that, 8 or 9 shipments. 10 shipments, I guess, technically. But they're going to be a little tricky to see which boxes they're going to have to fit in. All right, so all of Poshmark is done. Now we're going to go to eBay. Also, when I'm looking down, by the way, I'm just looking at my iPad. Do you do garage sales too? I don't do garage sales now. That's not just because I don't want to do it. It's just not worth my time. Truthfully, just of all the things that I can do, it's just not worth my time. Alrighty. First up, these are gigantic. So these were on super sale. I don't actually remember the price of them, but I remember the only reason why I got them was because they were on super sale. These are size 16. These are gigantic. I'm not really sure how this works. I also think that the insole, I'm confused. I think the insole's all messed up in here, but it's fine. These sold for $50 plus shipping. So this is an attempt to get them into a box. This is going to go in a boot box. That's how big these are. I was going to try and put these into one of the Ground Advantage boxes, but they ain't fitting in there. So this is going to go in a boot box, which is fine. The good thing is that I pre-prepped myself for shipping them in a box because I listed them in my boot category. So I listed them at 5 pounds with the dimensions of the box. So the buyer actually paid for the dimensions of the box, which is great. So, like I said, these are the 1612 by 6 boxes that I use. They're super great, super sturdy. Never had an issue with them. But I will say they do take up quite a bit of space when they are flat. So they're going to fit in like that. Hello, sorry. They're going to fit in like that. So there's a little bit of extra space. So I have some extra packing stuff that I'm going to throw in there. This is just from returns and stuff. I'm just going to throw some bubble wrap in there so that way they don't move around a lot, and then I'll put some packed paper on top of it. But that right there is how it's going to work. So yeah, these sold for $50 plus shipping. Not a bad little sale there. They're also size gigantic. So it's not a size that I would typically pick up, but that's a good model. So the Cosmic Unity 2s, I've actually sold a couple of them. Size 16, there wasn't any listed. I listed them, I think, at 69, and somebody sent me an offer at 50, and I listed them like 3 weeks ago or something like that. So I think the buyer was all in 64.14. I earned 37.02, which is just fine with me. All right, he's gonna go here. The next one is a bundle already. So the good thing is that I think it's these two. Yep. I'm not really going to talk about these. Again, retail stuff not really matters to y'all, but I think the buyer was all in like $160 on these, which is great. But like I said, not worth it for me to talk about it, because the stuff you're going to see, you aren't going to be able to get now. So no point in talking about it, but I did sell. We have a couple more things that are coming up that are models that I would suggest highly to pick up. So that'll be good here in the future. But while y'all are watching me pack up the retail stuff, hopefully your sales were good the last couple of days. And if not, hopefully your days were good last couple of days. I appreciate y'all watching and hanging out. I'm going to save the rest of this stuff. I'm going to attempt to get rid of all of the, like, not do all the retail stuff now, and I'll do it after. Just purely so that way you guys don't have to sit here and watch me keep telling you, oh, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this. So these next three, like everything else now, is stuff that you guys will enjoy and you can look for. All right, next pair. These are the Saucony Ride 18s, or 17s. They are on the 18s. This is a good model. They do sell, especially this colorway. These sold for, I listed these at $59. They sold for $48, which is just fine. But they sold pretty quickly. So I will take that, obviously. They were listed at $7,356. So this was close to a month, I guess. So this sold pretty quickly for them being a 1 year less model, but good one to look out for. The Ride, the newer Ride models sell pretty quickly. Oh, Danette, good morning. Hey, Danette, I think you were the one who talked about Peloton shoes yesterday. I actually sold one today. I think you just missed it, but I sold one on Poshmark, so thank you for that. Do you just estimate the weight of your packages and the dimensions and leave it as it is when you ship, or do you reweigh and measure, put in the correct weight dimensions when you ship? Is a problem with USPS if you are over? So I have my dimensions set, preset on Nifty. So whenever I list it, I have three categories for the shipping. You know, when you do the AI generation, or if you don't know, Nifty has AI generation when you do your listings, and they also put shipping presets in for you. So they keep your policies on eBay, but you can preset what the pounded weight is. So I put all of my shoes at 3 pounds, 14.5 by 8. So that's what I put it at, and never have an issue with it, because 99% of the shoes, unless I know that the shoes are more heavy, then I'll change it. But the boots are all the same. They're 5 pounds, 16.12 by 6s. And then clothing, if I do get any, it's all, I listed it. I know that you can list it for less money, but I like listing it at a pound. Because if I'm doing the shipping for clothing, I already don't like clothing, so I'm going to make a little bit more money on that. But there are some times where I'm able to go and fix stuff and I'm able to make a little bit of money on it, but it's not very frequent. I try and give the buyers the best deal, and that's what it is. New to following. When did you start selling? I started selling in college. So this will be 4 years in May that I graduated college. And I started selling full time then. I did it a little bit during college to like start the business, and then full time from college on now. But yeah, that's when I started. Doing great. Keep going. Thanks, Sherry. Is signed up for Poshmark. Did you participate in the sharing and liking of other Poshmark seller items? Do you have to do this? Yes. You have to share not other people's listings, but I have it set so Nifty does it anyways. So it shares my own items, and sometimes it'll share theirs. It won't like theirs because then you're gonna get offers from people. But you can share other people's stuff. Like Nifty takes care of all of my sharing stuff for me. My iPad turned off. Open Sesame. All right, good. This is a good model to look out for. Everybody knows what this is, so this will be fine. So you guys know what Birkenstocks are. They make men's shoes. They make women's shoes. This model is the Birkenstock Bends. So BENDS or BEND. These are a really nice pair of shoes. These sold for $58.65, which is a Nifty offer. So Nifty sent out an offer, and these sold, which is great. So they sold pretty quickly too, because that's 7839. So that means I listed that Sunday, I guess Sunday or Monday. It sold pretty quickly, so definitely a good model to look out for. But yeah, those sold pretty quickly. In saying that, they're gonna get a box because these are nice leather shoes, and they are a little bit heavy. They're still under that 3 pound mark, but they're a little bit heavier for a bag that I would prefer. So they're gonna go right in there. Make sure that that's the correct person. It is. Lovely. And try and get all these boxes sorted together. Next pair is actually another bundle pair. Put these up on top of here. Put these guys up on top of here as well. This is another bundle pair. So this is a model that I would suggest picking up if you can find it. This is the Nike Air Max Thea Mids. So Thea as THEA. These are the exact same size, and they sold to a buyer in Utah, which is great. So they are sold together. They both sold for $40 each. So I did a deal on them because they got both of them. Sold them for $40 each. But this is definitely a model I would look out for. They sold pretty quickly. Like I said, 7729, 7789. So within CC listings of each other, and then it's about 2 weeks of them being listed. They sold pretty quickly. So I don't think they're going to fit in the smaller box. So they may have to go in the boot box as well. What we are going to see if they will fit. They'll be. I think they might fit. We're going to do this one anyways because I got to use this box if they don't work anyways. I think that I'm all caught up on the chat as well. All right. Box. Put down. Packing paper on the bottom. How do you know something is a Nifty offer? Great question. Nifty automatically sends offers for me on eBay and Poshmark and Mercari and Depop. So I know what I listed at. So it means that one, on eBay, I know that they got an offer because that's not the price that I listed it at. And I know it's an accepted offer price. Also, this is going to sound very prideful, and I'm not meaning it like that. I'm really good with numbers. So I am pretty quick with numbers, and so I can tell what percentages were taken off of an item price that I know that I listed it at. So that one, I knew that I listed that one at that Nifty price. Let's see. That is going to go there. That is not going to work. That is too big for the box, which is okay. I will use this box for other stuff. But yeah, these are going to have to go in a big box, which is okay. That's what I priced them at, so that's fine. I changed the shipping on them both, so that way I knew that I could get them in this big box together, which is great. So now we just gotta make it happen. But yeah, the only reason why I knew it was a nifty offer is just because it wasn't the price that I listed at, and it wasn't taken at like a discount or anything. So that's how I knew. But Nifty probably has made me so much money off of those offers. Now that I don't have to send it, it's so great. I was very hesitant at first because I really enjoyed being like on top of the business and stuff like that, and like knowing everything that was being sent. And then I was like, you know what? I need to get my hands off of this as much as possible. And making that change has been huge. And now I make a lot more money doing it. So very grateful for Nifty. All right. So now these fit in so much nicer. Trash people are here. You can hear them. All right, these stickers need to get off because I guess this was one of the boxes that they sent that has all the labels and stuff on it, which is fine. But they are going to be shipped in this box. Love Nifty. Me too. Do you have to change shipping info for box measurements when you know you were shipping in a polymer? No. You can, but I don't. These are going to Utah, so this might take a little while to get there. It's going to Salt Lake City, but that bundle is there. Does Nifty send offers for other platforms? They send Nifty sends it to every platform. They send offers to every platform. All right, next pair is a pair of Jordan 1s. Nala, you're not supposed to be in here. You're not supposed to be in here. Come on, go inside. I know, it's so sad. Lay down. You can sit here. You can lay down, though. Good girl. Lay down. All right, these are a pair of Jordan 1s. These are the Gym Red and Black model. This is not a... I don't love picking up Jordans. They take a little bit while to sell, and these had a little bit more wear on the heels, if you guys can see that, than a normal pair. But they still sold for full price, so $59 plus shipping. Not bad. I think I made like $22 in profit off of those. But they sold pretty quickly, so not bad about that. We got one more after this one, and then I will ship all of the retail stuff that I got a couple months ago. I will ship that separately. Do you advertise? Do you ship anything priority or everything ground advantage? I have the option, so people can choose the option whether or not they want to pick priority. But everybody picks ground advantage because it's a lot cheaper. So that's the reason why everything is being shipped out ground advantage, is because they have the option to do so. But yeah, I do have the you can select when you go to purchase from me. You have the option between ground advantage, priority, and priority expedited. So if somebody needs something like next day or 2 days, I have that allowed too. I thought I was going to have that a lot over Christmas, and I really didn't. So these, I don't know if this was a typo, but I've never heard of a Jennifer with a U. I'm not even joking. I'm not going to show you it, but she spelled her name Jennunfer. I don't know if that was a typo, if that's her actual name, but that is the first time I have ever seen a Jennifer with a U. You know when people are joking yeah, it's Kyle with a R. That's Jennifer with a U, apparently. What platforms do you sell on? So primarily, eBay is number 1. Poshmark is number 2. Depop is number 3 by a long way. And Mercari is number 4. I am so tempted, and I'm not even joking, I'm so tempted to stop listing on Mercari. This is 5 days with no Mercari sales, and Depop is crushing Mercari. So, all right. Ethan, I'm so glad you're going live again. Thanks. Me too. If you guys aren't here all the time, I am my dedicated time now. People ask are like, what's your dedicated time? My dedicated time is 9 a.m. Eastern. So anywhere around 9, because that's when I know that people in the other side of the United States, the people that live on the wrong time, they are starting to get up then. But 9 o'clock is when I start. So if you guys want to follow, like the video, stuff like that, and you can subscribe on YouTube, and then you get a bell notification when I go live, that would be cool too. Dora, it's been a long time since I've seen that name. What do you feel about vintage leather boots? No name brand names, but styles are super interesting. I think that there are certain brands that no name boots actually do well just based on the style. So like you were saying, if they're good styles and they're like what people enjoy, I don't think they're going to pay as much as like a Fry or like a really expensive pair, but they still might sell based on the style. I had a customer who I shipped something to just yesterday. Their name was Nestle Nesquik. Wow. Yeah, that might win, but I've never heard with Jennifer with a U. So yeah. I had somebody Sunday that literally their name on the thing was Mr. P. That was all. It was 3 letters. MRP. Very odd. All right, last pair. And then I have some others to ship, but I won't bore you with it. These are the Under Armour Flow Velocities. This is actually a pretty good model. These are the wraps. Warp Winds. Not a bad model. These actually didn't even have insoles. So I sold them without insoles, and they still sold for $44.10. Pretty nice sale, despite not having insoles. Do you buy those Ground Advantage boxes from USPS at a discount or somewhere else? No, I get them for free, Jonathan. If you have a Poshmark account and you have an established Poshmark account, not just, I created one. You have one that you sell on and stuff like that. You have access to the Ground Advantage boxes and stuff like that on the platform, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I do not buy them. No, those are free. I sold something on Poshmark and her last name was Poor. Oh. Yeah, there's some interesting ones. There's some that I wanted to post. Like I've sold some really cool stuff. Like I've sold some boots. I've sold some like sneakers that have gone on TV shows, that have gone on. I had one that went on not Ellen. One of the live shows, I think it was Seth Meyers. One of the live shows, which was really cool, but they make you not tell anybody, obviously, because they want to keep it a secret and stuff like that. So I've sold some to movie productions, which has been cool. I've sold some other stuff. So not only are there cool names, I've sold them to some cool people too, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. This battery is getting toasted right now on my iPad. Holy crap. I'm like watching my battery go down. All right, that is it. So if anybody has any last second questions, I know that there's a little bit of a delay on what you can hear me, but if you guys have any last second questions, I would be more than happy to answer. High brightness. What does it say? High brightness consumes large amount of energy. Consider lowering your brightness. Okay, lowering my brightness. Do you choose FedEx for shipping when listings over $70, or does eBay choose that for you automatically? No, so eBay chooses that for me automatically because it's through the authentication program. I don't get to select that. They ship it with FedEx. I don't have to pay for it, so I don't care. I just have to drop them off at FedEx, and there's a Walgreens close to where I live. I just go and drop it off there. Okay, Lydia has texted me. I find it funny when I sell something to someone down the street from me. That is funny. I have had one where they literally were, when I was in college, it was somebody I knew. They didn't know it was me selling it. And I literally dropped it at their door, knocked on their door, dropped it on their door. They're like, how did you get these here so fast? And I was like, oh, they're from me. And we had to laugh about it. But yeah, that was funny. They were like, what do I do on eBay now? I just say you got it delivered. But I've done that once or twice before. It's pretty funny. All right, I think that's it. So the only thing I have to ship out now is some of the retail stuff that which is boring for y'all. So I won't ship it on there. They're all going FedEx anyways. So it's all going to be the same package. But hopefully you guys enjoy. I will not be doing a live the next 2 days. So I will see you Monday. We're going to do a cleaning live. The goal is to do that same time around 9 a.m. Eastern, which is 6 Western. I know that's early. Get up. I'm just kidding. But that's the plan. So hopefully you guys have a good weekend. Hopefully your sales are good. And if you don't sell, I hope you have a bunch of fun this weekend with whatever you